Alright y'all, I hope you have enjoyed the vlog thus far. I gotta say, for me, it was a very full circle moment, just how everything was connected. And honestly, that was something that I needed at the time. So shout out to God for providing, the job. I'm listening to the signs and I hear it and I'm grateful. And the fact that I got so much confirmation verbally, but also spiritually. So I'd definitely say this was a pretty good highlight at the top of the year, y'all. It's just March. Feeling good about 2022. So stay tuned. Y'all know I'm gonna put y'all in on good stuff. I'm gonna take y'all with me as best I can. But I wanted to leave y'all with a little something. Sat and kind of thought about a couple of pro tips that I could give you guys. Some of these relate to commercials, but then some of them relate to just the acting business in general. Pro tip number 1. All right, so pro tip number 1, getting there early. This is definitely a universal tip across the entire industry, and I'll give you a couple of pointers on why. First off, getting there early, it just allows you to really get the lay of the land. You know what I mean? You can be doing shoots that are indoor, like I did on this commercial, but you can also do shoots that are outdoor. When you get to a set, you may not be quite where you're gonna film. Sometimes you have to go to your trailer and you have to travel quite a distance, maybe on foot, sometimes via van or bus, it may be via golf cart. So getting there early allows you to get the lay of the land, see where you are, see what's going on, where you will possibly be shooting, so you can kind of get yourself prepared. Another reason I'd say to get there early is because it allows you to center yourself and calm yourself down. You're excited because you're about to shoot. Oh, I'm about to have fun, I'm living my dreams. And sometimes that does manifest into a little bit of a nervous energy, but getting there early allows yourself ample enough time to kind of ground yourself and be prepared for what you're about to do. And let's just say that you're doing something that's emotional, you know what I mean? It allows you to get there. Say your pleasantries to everyone, introduce yourself, but then you get to by yourself, isolate and prepare. Think of whatever backstory and just kind of get in that mental space for what you're about to do. Another reason I'd say get there early is to introduce yourself to people. You are new, and 9 times out of 10, the crew normally outnumbers the cast. You got tons of people in the crew, from camera operators, directors, assistant directors, PAs, grip, sound, lighting, like just so many people. It's always a good thing to introduce yourself if you can, and just to kind of, get to know them briefly, people that you're about to work with for anywhere from 5, 6, 8, 10 to 12, 14 hours. You know what I mean? So you don't feel like a duck out of or fresh water, or I forgot what the phrase is. What is it? So you just don't feel like an outcast, basically. It doesn't feel weird. It doesn't feel awkward. The last thing I would say about getting there early is that it just has a level of professionalism. It shows that you're about your business, that you're serious about your craft. You're gonna make sure you're there in ample enough time, because a lot of times sets can be very chaotic. A lot of times you're not the very first person that they're shooting with. They could have been shooting for days, for weeks, or for hours. And so when you get there, you allow yourself, hey, I'm here. What do you guys need from me? Is there anywhere that I need to go? So that you can kind of help aid in a smooth shoot. I'd rather you guys be a part of the solution than being late or, lost, and then be a part of the chaos and adding to the chaos and adding to the problems. So let's be a part of the solution, guys. And I think it's just, it sets a good reputation in this business, because everybody quite literally knows someone, which that was proven just in the vlog, how the makeup artist knew me from The Girl in the Basement, right? A lot of people know each other. So when you have a reputation of being there on time, being, pleasant to work with, that precedes itself, and that will follow you. It can bring you more opportunities. It's never a bad thing to be thought of in a professional and positive light. So yeah, make sure y'all get there early. You know what I mean? I would say no earlier than 30 minutes. You have a specific call time normally when you're on shoots, and time is money at that point. You know what I mean? So you're being paid for this specific call time, and then two, you wrap. All right, moving on to tip number 2. Now this one, I guess it could be gender neutral, but I'm specifically speaking from personal experience with this. I would say bring your makeup, and I'll tell you why. Although normally when you go to sets, and let me also put this out there. You can do projects that are both union and non-union. Union is with Screen Actors Guild, right? Some type of affiliation with SAG. But then there's also non-union projects that you can work. And in the state of Georgia, which is where I am, if you have not joined the union, you are able to do non-union and union projects. Now, once you join the union here, then from that point on, you cannot. But as it stands right now, I am SAG eligible. So I've done SAG projects, but I haven't joined the union quite yet, so I get the best of both worlds, basically. So I've had a experience on a non-union commercial. They have my headshot ahead of time. I go in, get ready to do my shoot. I'm there early. When it was time for me to get in the hair and makeup chair, the makeup artist did not have my shade. And you can imagine, I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Because there was actors of all different backgrounds. So, there was a female actor, there was an Asian, and then it's my turn. I get in the seat and she doesn't have my shade. I was offended. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I felt singled out because I know for a fact that they did have my headshot ahead of time, so they knew what I looked like and they had ample enough time to match my shade. However, the makeup artist did not have it. So what she did was mix some things together. She was like, oh, it's okay. I'm just gonna mix this and that, and then that'll work. Mind you, it did not work. It was about 2 shades lighter than what I really am. And the only reason that I was saved was because we did an indoor shoot and they had tons of lights around me. Based off the lighting, you could not see that it did not actually match my real skin tone. So I was saved. However, if that was not the case, just to say we were doing an outdoor shoot, it would have been easily distinguishable with just natural sunlight. So for that reason, tip number 2 is to bring your makeup. I tend to travel with either a makeup bag, maybe a book bag, or maybe a suitcase. It just depends on the job. And if I do have to bring wardrobe, which sometimes you do have to bring wardrobe to non-union projects, or not. After that experience, I make sure I bring my own foundation every single time. I do not want you guys to experience that. Luckily, God looked out so that the lights didn't have your girl looking like a whole clown, especially for Black women, especially for people of color. For tip number 3, normally the tone of a commercial is like happy times, positive vibes. So you have to be comfortable being happy and smiling with respect to what your script is or what the situation that you have to do. Another thing I would say is don't be afraid to bring yourself to the role. I found that to personally be something that makes you stand out when you're auditioning. And I'd say that probably goes for theatrical and commercial. Bring your own little nuances. If you're a little goofy, then be a little goofy. You know what I mean? If you are very confident and very expressive, like with your faces and stuff, be comfortable showing them who you are. That adds a sense of uniqueness and light and spark and specialness to your audition tape, right? And that's literally what they want to see when you come on the set as well. Generally you do the same thing that you did in your audition, but be prepared for a redirect, for different options, or them to say, oh, that was great. Okay, can you try something like this? So that's where I would say improv skills specifically definitely come up a lot in commercials, even just for auditioning sake. Like sometimes they may give you a line, but a lot of times they just give you a situation. right? They say, oh, it's this type of day, you see this person and you do that. All right, give me 30 seconds of that. But they don't give you the lines. And so now it's your job to come up with that scenario. And if you are not great with improv, you will not know what to do, because they don't necessarily tell you what to do and they don't necessarily tell you what to say. So I would definitely say making sure that you're up on your improv skills and being true to your creativity, natural instincts, and the ideas that come to you. All that plays a part, and it definitely aids in being successful at commercials. That's tip number 3. So tip number 4 is very simple, but very, very, very impactful. Network. While you are there on the set, be sure to open your mouth, start conversation with the people that are there when you are allowed to, of course. Sometimes they may be rolling, you can't talk. You have to be quiet, depending on if you have a trailer or not, or if there's just one general holding area, which is normally where they put the actors if there's not like a trailer or something. Because you never know who you're working with. The makeup artist on this may be the head of hair and makeup on the next shoot. The PA here might be the assistant AD here. Assistant AD may be the director or the producer on the next project. It definitely behooves you to network. I'll give you guys a very real example. I did a commercial. I don't remember when this was. It wasn't last year, maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, maybe about 2 years ago, I think. A Subway commercial, right? Really cool. A lot of people from my agency were there, and it was a smooth day. We shot it indoors. Now, unintentionally, I was just talking with some of the other actors, that I hadn't met. Hey, my name is da-da-da. Have you done this before? Is this your first time? So what are some of the things you've done recently? Who you represented by? And so we just get to kind of talking, and then I respond back with my things. And it just so happened that I was talking about a voiceover that I just did, a national voiceover for Publix. That was really cool. They were like, oh, that's really dope. And I had a copy of it on my phone of the actual spot. And so I let them hear it. Certain people were talking, and the director overheard us while we were waiting in between shooting our shots. The director was like, I heard you are a voiceover artist. Is that something you do often? And I'm like, yeah, I actually do. I have my own professional setup at home. I do voiceover quite often. I love it. I enjoy it. And I've done this, and this. He was like, oh, you know what? I have a project that's coming up that I could possibly use you on. Let me get your contact information, da-da-da-da, and bam. By speaking, closed mouths do not get fed. They overheard me, and I didn't even outrightly say this to the director. They just overheard us chatting. I talked myself up on a voiceover job, which it went well. They loved what I did. Pretty good pay. That would have never happened had I not done my due diligence of networking. Networking is key, people. Closed mouths do not get fed. I cannot express that enough. And that's just one example, but I've been on several sets where I'm talking about certain things, other people over here, and like, oh, you know what? Let me get your contact info, or let me follow you on social media because I got something that I'm working on later down the line. And those things come up. People remember who you are. And then especially if you are, I would say, active on social media, showing, updating people on the things that you're doing, it'll, even if they did forget you, because they see, what you're doing occasionally on social media, that'll jog their memory, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I actually know somebody that I can use for this project. You know what I mean? And Issa Rae said something in an interview that I really loved, and she said to network across. Because 9 times out of 10, there are people that do something specific to what you're searching for. It feels good to help people that you've come across, you've seen that they're passionate about what they do, they enjoy it, they're great to work with, they have a great vibe, great energy. People would love to network across and use you for things that they have when you fit the certain criteria, you know what I mean? But they will not know what you can do, they will not know what you have to offer, what's in store, if you do not open your mouth and network. So that is my fourth and final tip. Make sure you network. I want to say thank you so much for watching the video this far. I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got to see some cool things and learn a little bit more about what it is to be an actor. See a little bit of the hustle and bustle, because it is work. But you know what? It's when you love it, it does not feel like work. I'll put it that way. And I'm grateful that though, it can be very trying and demanding, joy, passion, and happiness is always at the forefront of what I do. And, I can't quite ask for anything more than that. All right, guys, I will see you on the next one. I'm excited. What y'all think the next project gonna be? Is it gonna be a commercial, a voiceover, a TV show, movie? Let me know, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and help me manifest those bookings for 2022. You can leave me any suggestions, any other questions you may have for another day in the life of an actor video in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, and turn those post notifications on so you will know when I drop my videos first. I got a lot of stuff coming for y'all and you don't want to miss it. I'm excited about this journey. I'm glad that you guys are here with me. Go ahead and share the information. Let's get these views up. Let's get the engagement and let's keep the excitement going for what we got coming. Bye.
Wow.